on the previous episode of WandaVision.
You can't control me the way you do them.
Can't I?
You've taken an entire town hostage.
I have what I want, and no one will ever take it from me again.
What is outside of Westview?
You don't want to know, I promise you.
Wanda, who is this?
What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name's Christian. Welcome to S.W.O.R.D production. WandaVision, episode 6. Holy fudge. Now, if you haven't seen the latest episode of WandaVision, watch it tonight, watch it tomorrow, come back, and let's discuss some spoilers, because we will be talking some huge spoilers for another fantastic episode of WandaVision. Now, this particular episode, you guys, I adored. I was so excited for the Halloween episode because of the costumes, the setting. I'm just a big Halloween fan. And boy, oh boy, they did it justice. The set designers for this particular episode, even for the entire series, have been really spot on. I enjoyed this episode thoroughly. It was so good. And the huge cliffhanger at the end. You know what? I'm so excited about it. Let's just talk about it. And the theories that what will happen? Now, Wanda creates a bigger version of the Hex. And the cliffhanger, how far does it go? Does it take over the entire world? Who knows? But all I know is, theory from Christian, does Wanda create the mutant gene? I say this because Monica Rambeau, they were studying her blood, and her blood cells are changing. Now, we all know Monica Rambeau has some sort of powers in the comics. She becomes Spectrum. Does this imply this is how she gets those powers? Possibilities. Does Wanda create mutants? Does she create the X gene, the mutant gene? Possibility. I don't see why not. That would be a cool way to kind of introduce how mutants are created. Or unlocked, one should say. Get what I'm saying? Because I feel like everybody should have some form of a mutant gene in them. And when Wanda creates this bigger version of the Hex, it changes their blood cells and kind of enhances that or speeds up the process. That's just a theory of mine. But let's talk this episode, you guys. I took some notes and I want to talk about it. So, like I said before, Monica Rambeau, she might get her powers from the Hex. I like that idea. Darcy is now inside the Hex because of what Wanda does, expanding it. Does Darcy get powers? What happens to Darcy? Oh, fudge. I was like, that was kind of messed up. They legit left her ass tied up, handcuffed to that cop car, and she was like, really? Y'all just gonna run and just leave me? Leave me with Vision, who's on the floor dead? Because Vision gets out of the Hex. But we all know Vision's dead. His body inside the Hex is just a corpse that Wanda's recreating so it's alive. So Vision's dead outside of the Hex. He cannot survive outside of the Hex. I was just like, oh man, that was a tough moment. I was like, oh, Vision's gonna die again. That was tough. I love the Halloween setting, like I said before. And when Pietro and Wiccan and Speed, Wanda, Vision, they all had their iconic classic Marvel Comics costume on. I was like, I love the way how you're paying homage. It's silly, it's fun, and I appreciate it. It looks great. I want to say this. Director Hayward is up to no good. A lot of people are speculating, saying that he's the human version of Ultron. People are speculating, saying he's possibly a Skrull. But there's something fishy about this man. Each episode, as it progresses, he becomes worse. He becomes more of a dictator. He's no longer, well, he kicked out the big three, Jimmy Woo, Darcy, and Monica Rambeau. They got into it, and he officially kicked them out. So I think there's something fishy with Director Hayward. I just don't know what it is, but please keep you guys' eye open, because this guy, something's going on. And what also leads me to believe that this guy is not what he seems. Why was he tracking Vision's body inside the Hex? Now, we all know that before WandaVision, Wanda had stole his body from a S.W.O.R.D facility. Why were they experimenting on his body? Or are they trying to recreate Ultron? Possibilities. These are theories that people are stating right now. I was just like, oh shit, this can come full circle. Why does he want Vision's body all of a sudden? Theories, you guys. Theories. What else? The twins. Let's talk. And I'm not talking about Wanda and, Pietro. Let's talk Wiccan and Speed. Billy and Tommy. I love. These kids are great. These kids can really act. They sold me on their performance in this episode, and I adore them. They got their powers in this episode. We all know that their powers mimic their mother and their uncle Pietro. Wiccan has the powers of his mother. And Speed has the powers of Pietro. He's super fast. And when, Pietro and, when Uncle Pietro and Wiccan were together on screen, they legit were, had the same powers. They're super fast, running around doing their thing. And I just want to say, man, Evan Peters as Pietro Maximoff is fantastic. He's really nailing this uncle performance. I really enjoyed his character in this episode. He was really, really good. I was like, damn. Yo, man, Evan Peters can act his ass off. And I love the screen time he shared with Wanda as well. There was a lot of moments they were trying to reconnect. And she was like, well, why do you look different? So she doesn't even know why he looks different. Well, what if Wanda has Pietro's dead body in the hex? And she used it to bring him back, but a different version from a different universe. The whole multiverse. Get what I'm saying? And I love the fact that this episode really felt X-Men-y. It really had that X-Men theme or that X-Men feeling. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I was like, it just makes me want the X-Men even more in the MCU, which we will be getting. Huge surprise is still coming at the end of WandaVision. We just don't know who or what will show up, but it's on the level of a Luke Skywalker. I don't think it was Evan Peters that Elizabeth Olsen was referring to, but I think it's on a much bigger scale than what we're thinking. What else? I talked about the Halloween setting. Vision. I want to talk about Vision. He doesn't trust Wanda. He's lying to Wanda. He goes out. He's like, oh, I have something to do. I have plans. And all of a sudden, Wanda thought he was going to be, patrolling the streets. But no, Vision's trying to get some kind of logical explanation on what exactly is happening in Westview. So he encounters a lot of strange things while walking around or flying around. People doing the same constant thing, stuck in some kind of psychological mode that Wanda has over them, and they're feeling it. So like when Vision saw that one lady doing that whole thing of the, outside putting up the decorations, he was like, what's going on? And she was crying. You could see she was crying, so she's hurting. These people are stuck doing the same thing. Notice, all of a sudden, there's children around. Where did all these children appear from? I was just like, holy shit, because Vision even stated that in earlier episodes. Well, why aren't the parks filled with kids? Why is it just us? So one is trying to make things a little bit more normal for a normal setting for Vision to feel a little bit more comfortable. I was just like, oh shit, Wanda's getting strong and Wanda's powerful. Wanda's powerful. Let me just say that. She doesn't even know how powerful she is. When Pietro asked her, how are you doing this? She's like, I don't know. I felt loneliness, and all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. Is somebody controlling her? Is somebody enhancing her powers? Are we getting a whole Cerebro type thing? Because Cerebro helps Professor X expand his powers. I feel like somebody's behind the scenes, Mephisto Nightmare, somebody, Dormammu, that's helping Wanda or puppeting Wanda to do all these crazy things. And we just don't know yet. What else? Oh, Pietro's dead body. That was crazy. I was just like, oh shit. And that leads me to believe that is Pietro's dead body in the Hex? Because we saw it. I was like, it's just like Vision. Vision's dead body was in the Hex, and we saw it in prior episodes. Like, it was that whole jump scare moment. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, here we go again. What are you implying? What's happening here? What else, man? Agnes. Now, after watching this episode, I'm a firm believer. Now that it seemed like Agnes is being controlled. I thought Agnes was a part of the plot. I thought Agnes was behind what's going on. But apparently not. It looks like Agnes is being controlled as well. Because when Vision encounters her, she's like lost. And he's like, you're lost in your hometown? Like, that makes no sense. And all of a sudden he does this little Vision power move and, you know, it snaps her out of it. And she's like, you're dead, you're dead, you're an Avenger. He's like, what's an Avenger? What you talking about? So Vision doesn't even know the outside life he's once had. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of questions. I'm getting a lot of more, you know, question marks in my head to what exactly is happening. You know what I'm saying? And I'm curious to know if Jimmy Woo and Monica got stuck in the hex again. Because when they were driving off, the hex was growing. And they're like, oh, shit. So if they both got stuck in the hex again, who's going to get them out? And how, like I said before, how far did the hex expand? We just don't know. We have no idea. So I'm so curious to know just how big of a cliffhanger that was at the end of this episode. Because we don't know how far it expanded. You know what I mean? Now, granted, I don't think it expanded over the entire Earth, because if so, that would be insane. But it's also leading me to believe that Doctor Strange is going to appear very soon. There's only 3 episodes left, you guys. So Doctor Strange is going to he's going to appear, and he's going to be like, what is going on, Wanda? And when he goes in there, and that's the thing, I don't think Wanda's ever met Doctor Strange. She died in Infinity War. Doctor Strange was on planet Titan. He died. They come back at Endgame, big battle scene. Obviously, they're not going to, hey, how you doing? I'm Doctor Strange. Hey, how you doing? I'm Wanda. They're not going to meet and greet. So we don't necessarily know if Wanda knows who Doctor Strange is, but I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange knows who Wanda Maximoff is. It only makes sense because he is the Sorceress Supreme in the MCU. But all in all, man, I'm excited. I'm pumped. I cannot wait for this next episode. I hope the twins, Wicked and Speed, age more, and legit we get to see their, you know, their final form moving forward in the MCU, because obviously they're going to be a pivotal part to being a part of the Young Avengers. So I'm curious to see how that's going to go. And I'm happy that they got their powers this episode. I was like, when are they going to get their powers? It's so dope that they got their powers, man. I really enjoy these kid actors. They're so good. They're so believable. They're fantastic. I'm like, man, I'll be down to see them continue on in the MCU at the age of 10. You know what I mean? That's how good they are. I really enjoyed their performances. But man, all in all, you guys, this was a fantastic episode. It's really good. There's a lot of things happening, and I feel like with that cliffhanger at the end of this episode, things are going to start heating up even more. 3 episodes left, probably 30 minutes each episode. They're going to have to start explaining things, and things are going to start pumping off and getting off. But all in all, you guys, I really enjoyed this episode of WandaVision. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about my theory. Does Wanda create the mutant gene? Spectrum, Monica Rambeau, that's how she gets her powers. Please post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. And thank you for taking time out of your day for watching S.W.O.R.D Productions. Peace.
We out.